I played in the San Diego City Championship at Torrey Pines. This is going to be a 54-hole recap with post-round analysis. This hole is 169, but it's straight downhill, but it's into the wind. It's tough to gauge it too because, you know, it's going to kind of launch as well. So I tried to hit this. Another thing I really thought about today was using different mental game triggers to calm yourself down. A few times I spiked, and that's where I had a choice. I could have went into victim mentality, been pissed off, whiny, I can't believe this. And I just said, all right, guys, let's get into the day one recap. Played the South course today, day two's North course, and then day three is back at South. Man, I mean, I'm done at like noon. We played in 4 hours, 7:10, done by 11:10, so I can't beat that. I was playing in threesomes, we had carts. Unfortunately, the course definitely won today, but I'm really proud and grinded. So let's go through some of the stats. That way you can take a look at kind of different parts of my game. And I'm going to share some lessons that I learned and things that will definitely help your game out. So again, when you get pin sheets like this, what I like to do is every 3 holes, I draw a line here. You can't really see because they faded away. But what you like to do on the scorecard and on your yardage sheet, just to chunk the round down. So we have 6 3-hole stretches. This helps you stay focused and it helps you stay in that present moment. Too many of us time travel into the future, sometimes backwards. You know, you had a 3-putt or you did something stupid on the last hole, but we want to make sure that we're staying in the present moment. This is something I do for every tournament. And so as soon as the round's over, I went back and I logged all my stats with Decade Golf and we got right into it here. So one of the things that stood out to me is just that driving, it felt like my driving was awful today. I was in fairway bunkers and I was just all over the place. However, it doesn't really show in the stats. When you look at the stats with driving specifically, as long as you're in play, like you're still not going to be in too bad a shape and hitting it, you know, a decent distance. Obviously, wish I was hitting it longer today. My driving distance felt like it was just downhill so much. It was windy. It was like wet and kind of just like dewy and foggy out. The ball was going absolutely nowhere. So let's go through kind of the round and then we'll kind of break down a few different holes. And I have some great videos as well, as my girlfriend was out filming. So we got some good content kind of throughout the round. So first hole, one of the hardest holes in golf in the 2008 US Open. Tiger, I think, made double bogey 3 of the 4 rounds despite winning the event. So it's a tough one. You know, first tee nerves, they were a little bit, but I was just more excited. Hit it in the right fairway bunker and then just had a terrible shot, left it 40 yards short, chipped it on, and was like, okay, you know, let's 15 feet. You know, if I make bogey, great, no worries. So I think that's a big shift that I've started to make too. And I'm out of position, you know, in a fairway bunker or under a tree or whatever it is, reframing, hey, how can I make bogey or better? And just being okay with it. Like, it's shocking to me how many times I used to try and play hero golf and say, hey, I got to make par from here. Like, where a lot of times we're just trying to make bogey or better. Scott Fawcett of Decade Golf also talks about fractional bogey. So in my mind, I knew that, yes, it's a par 4, but it's statistically probably playing like a par 4.5 because it's one of the hardest holes on the course. And so I was like, hey, if I make bogey, I'm going to lose about a half shot here. It's not that big of a deal. So if I knew if I made double, obviously it's a tough way to start the round and it can really kind of sabotage. So again, being okay with bogeying some of the hardest holes in golf or the hardest holes on the course, you got to be okay with it. And that's where thinking wicked smart is going to help. So going through the round, I start off with a bogey. Okay, next hole, get up and hit another terrible drive. Pretty much scold a fairway bunker shot. Again, made another bogey. I'm like, okay, bogey, not the end of the world. Trying to stay cool, calm, use my breathing a lot. Get up on the 3rd hole, a fantastic hole, one of the best holes in golf. Made a good par on that one. The 4th hole, another terrible drive, back in the fairway bunker. Hit a chunk out of there. So I've really been struggling with some low point issues. So I had a lesson and I was kind of dipping my head and moving too much. So I've been working on it, but clearly it has not paid off yet. And that's one of the biggest things with fairway bunkers is that it's all about low point control. And that's why a lot of us struggle sometimes out of there. So my 2 cents though, when you are in a fairway bunker, I try to just do 2 things. One, just choke up a little bit and then just take a more abbreviated follow through, kind of like shoulder to shoulder is what I'm thinking, just because it's really about making clean contact above all else. I had some weird lies. They were kind of uphill and one was side hill. So it was one of those things where, again, I was out of position, I hit it out, I was being okay with bogey, and I was staying patient. You know, one of the biggest things I've learned in this journey of writing these books and starting this brand is just learning to stay patient. You never know when the magic is going to happen. Of course, we'd love to come out of the gates and make a bunch of birdies and pars. It doesn't always work like that. So that's why you got to be okay with saying, hey, maybe the middle of the round is going to be where the magic comes, or maybe even later in the round, but you got to just stay with it. So in my mind, I'm telling myself, hey, keep making good swings, keep making good decisions. Let's just kind of let the magic happen when it does. So now I got to the 6th hole and I'm 3 over through 5. I had really grinded it out, nothing special at this point. I'm like, let's just keep going. Not a great drive on 6. Okay, second shot, terrible third, had to make a 6-footer for par, got it. And so that's where some momentum comes in. So I'm like, okay, par, momentum save, let's go. 7th hole, another tough one, missed in the wrong spot, made bogey. Okay, 4 over, just feeling like I can't get anything going. But again, just telling myself, keep making good decisions. Reminding myself as well, Torrey South is a beast. We're playing at 7,000 yards, it's wet, the ball's going nowhere. So I'm like, just stay patient, just stay patient. 8th hole, I have to make a 10-footer for par, get it done. And then I'm like, okay, let's just kind of stay with it, stick with the process. Did not birdie the 9th hole. It's a pretty easy par 5, but was just really short-sighted. And again, did not want to try and hit a flop over this bunker. Tried to hit a high pitch instead. Got it to 20 feet. Remember, 20 feet, not trying to make that a lot. So I made my par and was okay with it. 10th hole, perfect drive, perfect wedge, 16 feet, buried it. Finally made birdie and kind of got back. I was like, okay, got a little bit. Then golf happened. On the 11th hole, put it in the bunker. There was no sand in this bunker. Sculled it over into the other bunker. Actually hit a great shot. Closest I could get was 15 feet, missed it. And all of a sudden you go from birdie to double. Now I'm also going into the hardest hole on the golf course, one of the hardest holes in the PGA Tour. And I told myself, hey, let's just pick a good target here. Like I was, it's easy to still be pissed off when you just made that double. But one of the things that we talk about inside Wicked Smart Golf 3 is using different mental golf hacks throughout the round to stay calm, cool, and collected, especially in tournament situations. Because if your brainwaves are spiking and you're up and down, it's going to be really hard. So I didn't get mad. I didn't react to that double bogey. I was like, okay, we're on to 12. Let's just pick a good target. Hit an okay drive, not a great second shot, made another bogey. So I was just like, oh my gosh, just could not feel like getting anything going. My favorite hole though of the golf course is the 13th hole, and it was a par 5. It's where Tiger made the iconic eagle in 2008. It's just a phenomenal hole. Hit a pretty good drive, one of the best second shots I've ever hit. It hit on the fringe short and rolls back down 50 yards because it's straight downhill into a divot because that's where all the balls collect. And that's where I had a choice. I could have went into victim mentality, been pissed off, whiny, I can't believe this. And I just said, okay, that's an interesting break. That's kind of what I reframed it. Hit one of the best chips I could, tried to put it in the back of my stance, knock it down, got it to 16 feet, hit a great putt, was walking it in. Unfortunately, it didn't drop, but it was very, very well played, and I kept a good attitude. So when you get a bad break, let me ask, what do? Do you whine about it? Do you say, hey man, look at that. Can you believe it plugged in the bunker? Can you believe it's in the divot? You can't do that. So I really challenge you to make sure and not go into that victim mentality. Ended up going par on the next hole, par on the next hole, pretty standard. 16 is one of the best holes on the course. It is so tough. It's 210. It was into the wind. It was cold. The ball was going nowhere. I hit one of the worst shots I've ever hit. Literally, probably one of the worst 5-irons of the year, or maybe all time. Definitely the worst shot of the year, I would say, with a long iron. I thought it was going in the penalty area, in the canyon. I mean, it was 9 miles left. Somehow I hit it so bad it ended up short. And I'm just like, you'll see the video here, and I'm just like, oh my God. But what I did is I was like, you know what? This is an opportunity to see if you can salvage a par. Like, let's go into it with the right attitude. You got a good break, let's capitalize on it. So when you get a good break, let's see if you can actually capitalize on it. Try and stay positive. And I got up there, I looked at the lie, it was pretty good. I had an upslope, so I was like, okay, this is gonna help. It's into the wind, so the ball's also gonna stop quickly. Had a 47-yard chip though, pretty tough. Hit it perfect, 6 feet. Left it above the hole though, so just kind of tapped it, buried it. Great par save. Bogeyed 17, so just again back and forth. 18 though, hit a great drive, and then on the final one I had, let's see, it was 228 I think to the front pin. If you're short, it's back in the water, like no question about it. 248 was the back of the green, so I had just hit a really good hybrid on 13, and that's what I was thinking is let's go 235. I picked a target that was a little right side of the green because I've been slinging a nice draw in there, and I really got clear on it. I was like, let's get super, super committed on our target and our routine. As you can see here on the swing, one of the best swings I've made this year. Hit it absolutely perfect. Talked to it a little bit midair. it released out, and I unfortunately had about 60 feet and then had the only 3-putt of the day. But I still was positive in strokes gained putting against the PGA Tour. So yes, I wish I would have made that one and ended with a birdie, but at the end of the day, what can you do? You made some 10, 12 footers I probably shouldn't have made, so statistically they kind of offset. But I'm glad I fought until the finish, and that's the final lesson in the first book and the second book is fight until the finish. I challenge you to keep going, to keep fighting. You never know when a birdie's going to happen. You never know when you're going to be able to build some momentum or find that one swing thought or that one putting thought. But too many golfers I find really just tend to shut down and they just kind of say, hey, I'm not playing good today, and kind of limp through the finish line. But if you're wicked smart, I want you to run through the finish line and stay mentally committed. So after the round, got the scorecard signed, and then I just went and hit some putts because I did not like that I missed that last putt. It was about 6.5, 7 feet, missed it just a little bit low. So I went to the putting green, found a very similar putt, and made a bunch of those just to get some good vibes in. The practice facility here is absolutely terrible in terms of the driving range. So it's weird. It's my favorite course and my least favorite practice facility. So I didn't really go hit any balls or anything. Feeling good. We have the rest of the day kind of lined up with San Diego here and some things we want to do. And so it's one of those where it was not a great score. 79, I would love to play, a lot better than that. Guy I played with made 9 birdies and shot 71. Wild scorecard over there. But it just goes to show you never know what's going to happen, and you have to be okay with making some bogeys on tough holes and tough courses. This is one of the toughest courses I play, probably the hardest course I play every year, and so I was okay with it. But again, it's about staying committed, staying with the process. So I'm really excited to bounce back tomorrow. We got day 2 at the North Course, a lot easier. Hopefully we can build some momentum. And now I have a really good game plan for day 3 because I know where to go and where not to go because I did not hit many fairways today. So it's one of those things where, again, you have to be learning from everything. All right, day 2 in the books. Nice 71 today on the North Course. Much different day. It's amazing how you can just show up a different golfer some days. Today was one of those for me. Day before, day 1, I couldn't do anything. I feel like I never even swung the ball or swung the club. Like, ball was going everywhere. Didn't do anything well yesterday. So today, nice bounce back. Want to take you through some stats. If you look at the stats here, you'll see driving was the worst. But the only reason it's negative is because I hit 1 into the canyon and had to take a drop with the lateral hazard there. But other than that, honestly, I drove it really well today. So 1, make sure you always track your stats, but 2, make sure to also kind of objectively, do that and look at the statistical portion, but then again, kind of look at, hey, was I hitting it good? Was I picking good targets? There's a lot of subjective stuff as well. So one thing I always do as soon as I finish the round is I track my stats with Decade Golf. I write everything down again on my yardage sheet, and then I put it into Decade and then go through it. And afterwards, I'll do a couple of really good shots and kind of look at my round subjectively, like, hey, how was I feeling physically, mentally? What was the game like? Writing down some of my best shots. So this stuff is important, but it's also very, very important to make sure you're doing some sort of mental analysis too. So let's get into a few of the shots. First hole, nice, great drive, good wedge in there, good 2-putt. Second hole, again, tugged it in the canyon, but I said, hey, now we got to make bogey or better. Didn't, get upset, felt really good about the next shot. 2-putted, made the bogey, no problem. Bounced back on the third hole, really good 5-iron, hit it to 21 feet from 195 into the wind, so that was a great shot. It's amazing how much shorter the ball goes here than in Arizona, especially with the morning wave that we were in. Fourth hole, really good. Oh man, I hit that good. We have some great videos that I'll show on the back now, and my girlfriend was out watching too. But the front nine I was going along pretty well. Like I wasn't making as many birdies as I wanted because it's a very gettable course to me. Like there's a lot more out on the North Course at Torrey here than the South Course. But I kind of stuck with it. So hadn't made a birdie yet. And then on the 5th hole, par 5, it's only 500 yards. I'm thinking, let's do it. Pull my drive left, get one of the worst lies I could have got. Like the rough is thick here, but for some reason there was this little patch and there was like bare and it was somehow like stuck into, it was just a terrible lie. But instead of whining about it, I tried to, do my best, put myself in another bad spot, had to scramble my face off to save par, but that actually kind of gave me some momentum. So sometimes even the par saves can give you that boost. So go up on the 6th hole, hit a perfect drive, stuffed a wedge to 6 feet, made it. Okay, great. 7, 295 yards today, pin high, really awful rough, bad lie here. I wish I had a video of this, but hit a great shot, got it to 18 feet, buried the putt. So I go birdie, feeling pretty good. Now I'm 1 under. 8th hole, I had 39 feet, left it 6 feet short, buried the putt. So bouncing back. 9 was 2 of the best shots I could have hit, and then I 3-putted. So that was painful. Mentally, I kind of checked out. I was thinking about work and some other stuff, and so I did a bad job. I shouldn't have looked at my phone when I did. I started thinking. I had 2 perfect shots, 27 feet. I'm thinking, you know, easy birdie. Ended up blasting it 6 feet by. Didn't even really read it well enough to know it was downhill. So frustrated for sure, but I was like, okay, it's a par. It's definitely one we'll look back on, but hey, let's keep going. 10th hole, as you can see in the video here, I pushed my drive, but my God, this was one of the worst lies I had seen on the golf course. It was so buried. The most I took was a 7-iron. I chopped down. I really tried to grip it super hard because I knew the club face was going to twist. Hit a really good shot to get it down there into wedge range. 55 yards, guys, and hit it to 42 feet. Just a terrible shot there. So I feel like on that one, it was into the wind. It was a back pin. I probably should have tried to go maybe a gap wedge or a sand wedge and try and flight it a little lower. Instead, I hit a lob wedge, got eaten up, and then it kind of spun a little bit. So I was like, are you kidding me? Luckily, I made the next putt. I had 6 feet left and ended up burying that one, as you can see here. So that helped.
Nice.
11th hole, not a great drive, not a good second shot. 42 feet left again with a wedge, not what we're looking for. Blasted this one 7 feet by. So all of a sudden my speed control is kind of going. I started kind of riding this roller coaster, but made the next putt. So again, anytime I'm inside 10 feet, especially here, the greens are so pure. One thing that I talk about in the second book a lot is the importance of getting all putts from 10 feet to the hole. After that, you want to definitely be okay leaving some short, but inside 10 feet, those are going to be the most makeable statistically ones, and we got to give those a chance. So I felt really good. I was hitting them, I wouldn't say hard, but you know, just solid. You know, I was imagining the ball rolling in kind of forcefully, not, you know, because the greens were a lot slower on this side, but still, you know, really solid greens. Again, I love Torrey North. I think it's almost more scenic, as you'll see in some of the videos, than the South Course, but ended up making that one. 12th hole, a good par. So again, now I'm on my next set of 3 holes, so 13, 14, 15. Unfortunately, I had to grind, and on 13, hit it to in the fairway bunker, and hit a pretty good fairway bunker shot, 63 feet though, tough putt over a ridge and then down it. Left it 9 feet short, but buried that one. So my putting was absolutely phenomenal today. As you saw in the stats earlier, I gained 0.3 shots putting. So that's 2 days in a row at Torrey Pines of gaining shots on the greens. I will take that all day. 14, had to get up and down, make another 7-footer. 15 is a phenomenal hole. If you guys have not played this hole, come out to this course. The North Course is so much fun, especially when you don't have any fog out like we did today. This hole is 169, but it's straight downhill, but it's into the wind. It's tough to gauge it too because, you know, it's going to kind of launch as well. So I tried to hit this, knocked down 7, came up just a little short, chipped it to a foot, no problem. 16 was the drive of the day. I absolutely smoked this mini driver. I think it was like 275, maybe 280 up the hill. Had 69 yards in and stuffed it to 13 feet and then buried that putt. So that was absolutely key. 17 I parred, and 18 I had another 3-putt to end the day. It was like a really hard putt. It was like 57 feet over a ridge. This thing had to break at least 6 feet. I mean, it's one of those where I had to be okay with it. But yeah, losing a shot on the last hole never feels good. But the birdie on 16 helped. But one thing I was really just thinking about today is, hey, it's a new day, it's a new course, have that new mentality. So whenever you're playing in multi-day tournaments, you have to remember yesterday doesn't predict today. That's one of the biggest mistakes I see. Another thing I saw today is leaning into when you are playing well. One guy in my group shot 67, played really well, and he was kind of owning it. He wasn't, you know, he kept his foot down. I think that when you're playing well, sometimes it's really easy to get kind of like, don't screw this up, let's guard the lead. I could tell he stuck with his game plan. He stuck with his routine. He was super committed. I love to see it. Again, you want to be around better players when you can. It's going to elevate your game. And another thing I really thought about today was using different mental game triggers to calm yourself down. A few times I spiked. If you look at my whoop, probably it was getting a little in zone 2, zone 3. I was getting a little frustrated with myself and a few of the lies I got, and I didn't do a great job. So I kept thinking about how can I calm myself down, because again, we want to be accessing the zone, and that's only going to happen when our brain waves are lower. If they're spiking, it's going to be really, really tough to get in that flow state. So that's what Wicked Smart Golf 3 is all about. It's all about finding those different mental hacks. And so some of the things I was doing today was using different tools that I have in my yardage book. So again, I have my yardage book. I absolutely love putt view books. Those are my favorite. And then I have different things in here. So I have my yellow card, which again is my best shot with every club in the bag. And so what I will do is document great shots after the round, like I mentioned, and then I will put together a little cheat sheet of basically all my great shots, print it out. And then, so for example, like I had a 5-iron today, and I really wanted to hit a good swing, and I was thinking, okay, well, you know, actually I hit a great 5-iron a couple days ago in a tournament, so I was thinking about that shot. And even if you don't have a shot from a recent day, if you're doing it during that round. So on the 3rd hole today, I hit a great 5-iron. So on 9, I had another 5-iron, and I told myself, hey, same shot as number 3. I'm imagining just a mid-trajectory draw. And again, I'm using past visualization to get myself ready. So that one helped. I used a lot of breathing today. So I've had a lot of different breathing experts on the podcast lately, and so I've really been leaning into that. And then another thing that I learned from Jira Golf and other books from Dr. Izzy Justice was the importance of using your 5 senses. He calls them the 5 doors to the brain. So a couple times today, as you could tell, probably you can hear maybe the planes going over. There's a lot of noise sometimes, and so what I'll do is I'll close my eyes and try and pick out different noises I hear. So maybe it's a bird, maybe it's a group next to us, maybe it's some plane flying overhead. And what I'm trying to do is stay in the present moment. Another thing he mentions in his books is you can try and find as many colors. So you're like, oh, there's a pink flower, there's a red T marker, there's yellow on that guy's outfit. Like, you're trying to do that because you're going to stay present. And remember, your best golf happens when you are staying present. So overall, those are some of the tricks I use, and had a really good day. I feel really positive about today. It was a nice bounce back day. I had a good warm-up, a good mental game warm-up, a nice activation type of workout in the gym today. So now we got day 3. We got Torrey Pines South again. Looking for some vengeance with that 79 on the first day, and I had to grind for that 79. So hopefully we can put together a better game plan tomorrow and get a little more comfortable out there, and hopefully the body will cooperate and be able to make some magic. Stay tuned for day 3. All right, day 3 did not go as good as we wanted. Doing it back home here in Arizona. Had to check out of the hotel, and then we went to a different hotel for the last 2 nights. So didn't get to film it right afterwards, but have my stats up here. Definitely did not save the best for last. Had some ups and downs, some emotional moments I'll share in just a second, but always some good things we can learn. So final day, we shot 81. Never really excited to shoot in the 80s as a plus handicap, but if you're going to do it, Torrey Pines South, okay, I can kind of live with it. It's a tough golf course. I mean, the first day, I think the course average was 76. I think the 3rd day was even higher, which was our 2nd day at the South, which was 77, I want to say. So, I mean, the course was brutal. They gave us some Sunday pins like we were playing in the tournament that they have the PGA Tour out there. So, it was a good challenge for sure. I got off to an interesting start, and I kind of want to just share some insights into it. So, first, let's get into the stats. I lost 0.02 shots off the tee. I lost 5.19 approach to the green. That one hurts. Lost 1.62 around the greens and lost 3.19 on the green. So we lost it pretty much everywhere. Driving was pretty good considering I kind of been fighting some driver stuff, but got off on a weird start. The first hole, I hit a pretty okay drive, but then I like sculled an iron up on the fringe, hit a really, or like kind of just before the fringe, hit a really good chip. Unfortunately, did not make it, but I had like a 4-footer, completely missed the hole. Tough start there, but kind of bounced back. Second hole, barely 2-putted. Third hole, barely 2-putted. The greens were really challenging. The pins were tight, but still kind of just kept hanging around in there. Had a great par save on 4. Not about a 15-footer on the 5th hole I would have loved to have made, but didn't go in. So again, always reframing it. 15 feet, not a high percentage putt. Par 6, so I'm only 1 over through 6. I'm like, okay, this is going pretty well. Golf kind of happened after that. 7th hole, hit it into a bunker, fairway bunker, soft sand into the lip, didn't have much, hit it out, had another wedge in, forgot about Flyer Lies in San Diego, flew that thing into a bunker, over the bunker and into the penalty area in the canyon. Had to get up and down for double, which was key. I did actually do it. So just a reminder, even when you're out of a hole or playing bad, remember, a double is better than a triple is better than a quad. So always be still grinding until that hole is over. 9, I hate to say I got bad luck. Unfortunately, though, the ball plugged in the sand with the hybrid, which was weird, in the upslope. So I was pin high in 2, walked away with 6. I was like, wow. 40 on the front, not great, but felt like I was playing pretty good. Honestly, the next few holes, I kind of lost it mentally. My mind wandered. very unfortunately, we lost our dog Munchie about 6 weeks ago. And we had planned after the round to go spread some of her ashes at the dog beach, and my mind drifted there. And I'll be honest, the rest of the back nine, I didn't really do very well mentally. I got very emotional, as I am right now. So just a reminder that, yeah, the round didn't go good. You might see, 81, oh, he's not very good, this and that. I have some stuff that I'm dealing with off the course too. And just a reminder that if you're dealing with stuff off the course, I understand. And it's very tough to have family and health and, all the different things we have in our lives. And so I was proud that I stayed with it when I could. I definitely struggled for a couple holes there, as you can see on the scorecard, but I just kept telling myself, hey, let's stay present. Let's stay present. I did get Munchie as a Corgi head cover from a mini driver. So she was there with me, ended up birdieing 17, par in 18 to at least finish as strong as I could. Every shot counts. It was a tough day mentally for me. And that's kind of been the theme for the last few months for me, is just, I really haven't had the drive to practice or play. And even when I do, it's not very good right now. And I'm okay with it. Life is way more important than golf. So always go back to the first lesson in my first book, have an attitude of gratitude. Be grateful for everything, for your pets, for your loved ones, for your career, your business, your golf game, your body. Be grateful for it all. Things can change very quickly. And unfortunately, I've had to deal with that the last few months. Again, not making excuses, but mentally I was not in a great spot. And I knew that was a risk, but I was willing to take it to still play in this tournament and hopefully, have some fun and get my mind off of life for a little bit. It worked at times, but again, just did not do a great job staying mentally with it. So this is a reminder to keep training your mental game, keep meditating, doing self-hypnosis, journaling, whatever it is that helps you, going on walks, working on your body with physical fitness. The more we work on that mindset, the more we are going to be able to bounce back and hopefully just stay strong and stay resilient. It's not easy, and golf can really, really make it hard sometimes. But overall, when I look at the tournament, I'm still very proud of myself. I had one round under par. I grinded it out. South Course is such a beast, so much fun, and it just makes me want to work harder for next year. I mean, last year I got, I think, almost last place. I was like 5th or 6th from last. This year I finished middle of the pack. However, there was a silver lining. I met a great guy on the final day who ended up being a podcast guest, and he's actually starting a golf podcast called The Golfing CEO, and I was able to be on his podcast. So play in tournaments. You never know who you're going to meet. Stay consistent out there. Use Decade Golf or something similar to track your stats, so that way you can kind of know what to work on. The stats were pretty clear with my stuff. We really struggled on the approach shot, so that's obviously been a big focus. I just got a lesson recently after the event, so I think that'll help a ton. And it's really just about figuring out what you can do to personalize that practice schedule. And so that's why I love tracking stats. That's why I love Decade Golf and other programs. So that's kind of been a couple of the big things. And again, just looking ahead to the future. If you do play in the same event like I do every year, make sure and take tons of notes. That's what I've done after this as well. So I always log all my good shots, maybe ways I'd replay a hole or different targets I would select or different clubs I would use. I think that's very helpful. But again, if you haven't played in tournaments yet, start. Wicked Smart Golf 3 is all about helping you find and thrive in tournament golf. So if you do need some inspiration, that book is on Amazon or Audible and getting very, very good early feedback. So make sure to check that out. I appreciate you guys listening and watching on the vlog here. Excited to do more of these in the future as I kind of rebuild my own mental game and my own life after the loss of our dog. If you haven't yet, make sure to subscribe, hit that like button. Really appreciate all the support over here. Looking to move eventually and get into a house so we can build a golf simulator too and create even more content. So thanks again for all the support.